warriors. What I been ever since I was born. At the commencement, I adorn squash, beans, and corn. Lots of strings and horns. Over the beat, swing of a one. Outdrum the outcome. The child of Atlas is back in action. Fact, not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials. With whack acting from commercial to action. I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson. Like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass as Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society. Where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying spree. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restorer or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late and hollow years. See the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace. Where each one teach one to reach one. Freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little sun, I got bright and I could think too. I blink through a wrinkle in time. Rip Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too. To link you to source, yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They wanna extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun. The reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. Akishiwa. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This the cause of my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling advanced pressure. Some store each clan better. Planting the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Liberians and traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have the respect for treaties and oath. I expect more from those who want to conquest, except war. They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds were on rape, miscegenation, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Bush, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcia and Brooklyn, projects and hoods where we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Harley Cushion, it's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Years I shot the sheriff lady, shut my field. Can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this cannibal. If your brains completely manical, release or get treated damnable. You speak Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting the line out and teach back. We'll bulk this big muscle drip. Up to tussle with Uncle Sound, Big Brother, and this clique. Put that on Abraham and Esther. It's so much we band together. Blend in the devil to stand the weather. Sound strong, each clan better. Whether we can feel in the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors.
I gotta order some copper wire. Hope it's 100% copper. 100%
Based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back. Before I was knee deep out in them streets, ganging like the prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise. Eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I braved the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jin's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us from the Pontius Pilates, Kiheras, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names to coast of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, energy sets, book snaps, paste, carpentry tools, wrote poems, not yet known as raps. Learn alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learn meditation and martial arts from my father. Watch my uncles create music, so I beat drums, play keyboards with my dad.
I didn't even know that was in there.
He strung, didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums,
Order copper wire and black Indians. Okay.
True stories. This is based on real life.
I didn't even know I ordered it.
Before all the jail feel nice. The genius
I was
within
trying to order a book, man.
the angel of light. High vibrations, what it feels like. True story. This is based on real life. This before all the jail
It's early,
feel
so I'm
nice.
taking my
The
time.
genius within me, the angel of life.
Hopefully not too many people. Hey, Indigo Turtle, what's going on, beloved? Just waiting to see anybody else come in. Ganja, he's almost here. He should be probably, I don't know. He was a Phoenix. He should be pretty much getting close to Flagstaff, if not in Flagstaff. I should key up my radio in case he has his on, because he does turn his on. Alright, let's get out of that frequency more. Yo, if it's keying up, it's me if you have it on. He's in here. If he's driving, he can't type. So if you're there, bro, I'm right here, man. I've been up since like 3:30. Q Dog, Cincinnati Colts, Q, Quintus McDonald, he hit me up and rusted off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Pour my heart into her round. We'll give it a few more minutes. All right, we give about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, because it's early. It's early. It's early over here. As far as those who believe in the word early. Let me do something right quick. Damn, I'm getting strong in my. I'm just moving everything. Marcus, what's going on, beloved? Yo, Ganja, I don't know if you had your radio on or maybe it's in the back seat. Don't be reaching and looking for it, but if it keys up, let me know. It should be keying up.
I do this for you and the true TUT claim is the bandits. True story, based on real life. This before all the feel nice. The genius
Go sleep right there. I gotta get something else.
else.
I got something on the stove, guys. I'm sorry. My apologies. I've been outside doing my thing early this morning in the dark. So.
Based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like.
I don't think so.
Let me get something with some funk to it. Come on.
It should be picking up, man. I did some more reading up on these, so obviously there's something. I don't know. You gotta know where we're at too. We're in Arizona, so there's things going on here that will be applied everywhere else. that I can't speak on. You know what I mean? I'm putting my cover on. It's my thin cap. A lot of people don't know it, but it's wool, 100% wool, and I love it. It allows breathing. And I'll just leave it on. Oh, I got 3 batteries, so it'll go for a long time. Just leave it on, keeps it up, so the volume's up. Yeah, we gotta really work on locking this thing in. And they have ones that you can just buy that are already set up, but you better believe they can get in those too. If you don't have a workbench, a soldering iron, all different kind of wires, your own little crystals and whatever you need to do to, and you don't know how to put certain things with the little, if you don't know how to make, I don't like sharing everything on here, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't know how to get the copper and your magnets, get your little felt and make your own little sounding device, if you don't know how to, like I said, they're going to be in everything that comes out. It's like Cargill controlling all the food monopoly and some other things. But who's behind it? You know what I'm saying? Like, people ask me some questions. I'm going to address them this morning. That's why I put up Chaos Theory. They took down these idiots. Keep taking down my thumbnail like it's all right. You know? I'm going to go and put it right back up, or a better or worse one. It's so stupid. I'm not afflicted by it. It's funny. It's funny. It really is funny. For me, I just sit there saying, I guess these people think they're glutton for punishment, like these sadomasochists who run around, you know, kicking guys in the nuts and they want to be done. That ain't pain. Dying in a war, getting blown up, that is not pain. Being shot in your head and idiots running around glamorizing, going through you, saying what else they know or looking for things, that is not pain. A woman who actually, and I don't like to use the word love, and I feel like talking over it, I want to express my lungs, but a woman who loses a child, that is a woman scorned. See, we always apply it to this fake world of, oh, but the man cheated. So what? Then that woman get with her sisters, because if she had sisters, the man would never cheated. She get with her sisters and find a man, and find a man which is not far, that will subjugate himself to those women to protect them, and with the others around. A woman scorned is but a son torn. Y'all don't get it. I'm going to reply to some of these questions, because I think they're very good questions. And then some shared knowledge, or said material. And then I put IMO in my own opinion, because that's what it needs to be, and however you see it. Hey, Scott, what's going on below? What's happening, brothers? Okay, so a few more minutes and we get into it. Just want to give everybody time to freshen up, brush their teeth, whatever they do. Hope you're not using fluoride. As you see in the Band-Aid thing, it's the same thing as taking fluoride in water and you create fluorine, which is not only carcinogenic and PFAS, it's one of the worst, deadliest things, one of them. But the same thing with the Band-Aids. A lot of things have been created not to benefit or heal you, but in panic and rush, not in patience and time, the most powerful weapons, we seek to be healed without taking the course upon ourselves and people coming together to give proper energy, but we come under the pseudonyms of religion and everything else of robbed energy, and then we supplant ourselves believing that somebody's going to heal from cancer when it's already a proven fact that the radiation treatment makes it worse. Biopsies and cutting it away spreads it. And the only way to kill it is through proper diet. And that's why Bill Gates, who's not allowed to buy any land over here, nor this Congress or this fake government to own anything, nor these fake Jews to be controlling the food. But until y'all get it together, which y'all scared, because I know it's going to be another week when y'all didn't show up because you're acting like punks. So I'm going to get into these questions, and I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm not passing down. I'm not all these individuals. I'm none of them. All right? I'm damn sure no Savior. I'm no Messiah, Savior, none of that. I just know some things, and I accepted who I was almost 6 years ago. So for you individuals that are stuck in your stubborn way of thinking you got it locked,
we adapted the ways of the slave master.
We'll see.
I stand upon it.
I'm grateful to see that all y'all know exactly what to do. You know how to bring people to a higher awareness. You know how to get them to walk into what they're supposed to. Things can't be talked about on here. Things cannot be mentioned, regardless of what I'm hinting to. You don't have a clue. You will follow that which was most represent your ignorance, religion, the economy of it. I'm an Indian, blah, 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 blah. That's newfound, and you would think that with that, you wouldn't be a pompous pious. You would actually seek better things. And I'm saying this because this is like the last reach, y'all. I am literally saying it because it's the last reach, and I know how important it is. But if you don't feel it's important, then I have no emotions or feelings bound to it. You know everything, right? All right. Go out there and tell your babies and your nephews and your nieces and your mammy and pappy and your brothers and your sisters. Go out there and show them exactly what to do for ascending and how to move beyond the complexities of this world you live in that you think is going to blow over because you still have that liberal anticipative in you. And you think conservative, black, or whatever, is going to hold you solemnly. And go for all those people who just make you feel good for the moment with their little information. Oh, when it comes to that, I'm going to dribble on everybody because 99.9% of you don't know shit when it comes to actually. You don't. You don't. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let me get into this stuff, man. Let me get into this. This is some good stuff. All right, so let me pull his up. I want to look at it directly. First, I want to read something, okay? Let me, because I know some people will be like, yo. I want to say something also, submit a few things. I think it's, what was it called? We had a different name for this insect, but I think it was the Stenopalmatete or whatever. I remember in school, right? The little funny thing with the big head, it looked like a scorpion and looked like a few insects. And everybody used to think that like a bumblebee in back and everything. You know what I'm talking about? And people used to think like it was deadly and stuff. That is the least last thing you want to kill. Okay? Because that thing eats the waste from the plants that die off outside of the plant without harming the plant. And other things too. That is the most friendliest insect. I used to love them. I used to let 3 or 4 of them call in my hand and then move them over to another part of the garden, and they would literally walk right down. They don't bite. The only weapons they have is their mandibles, which is only for devouring the plant base. But people out here, because of the ignorance, and I'm gonna talk about every other day. I'm gonna broach upon certain insects. Even the purpose of bringing in the Louisiana the river rat. I'm gonna discuss certain things because. Just like time is short. That's all I gotta say. Like I was sharing fruit on here. I saw a lot of people that pick up on the fruit. Y'all are just so commercialized and institutionalized. But regardless of that, I forget the name that we had for this insect. What I'll do is at the end of this, I'll pull it up and we'll see what we can pull up. I forget the medical or the science. I hate those word terms. But let me go pull up my brother. Let's see if I can pull it up here. I just ordered some copper wire, 99.9%, 12 and 16 gauge, and I ordered a book by accident that I wasn't supposed to order right yet. And that happens, right? So, I want to read this to you about the chaos theory. I know when you hear chaos in theory, what's relevant? Chaos, something out of order, something that's disruptive. And a theory, which is relevant to conspiracy, right? Well, why would you use theory in the face of chaos? Theory means you're talking about something hypothetically, right? It may allude to something. So the theory is only compounded when you start moving away from theory into reality, right? So it's a theory, is applicable in theory, looking at the math and the science for those who are in this time and age, looking at looking at things the way they do what they do. So yeah, you would sit there and say, okay, it's possible in theory. But we will further look at metals, electrodes, diodes, blah, 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 until are even dealing with space continuums and what's relative to another world or whatever, right? We know that world means another place. We know when they say space, you're in space. It depends on if you're occupying a space in here or you're outside in the space out here. So chaos theory I wanted to read to you so that way you have a little synopsis if you never really looked into it. Okay? Because there's 4 other uses, all right, for chaos theory. So chaos theory is an interdisciplinary, all right, listen to this, interdisciplinary of area of scientific study. Okay? Why does it say interdisciplinary? Anyway, interdisciplinarity or plenary studies involves a combination of multiple academic disciplines into one activity. Again, for example, a research project, ergo, right, what I was stating. It draws knowledge from several other fields like sociology, anthropology, psychology, economics, etc. It is about creating something by thinking across boundaries. It is related to an interdiscipline or an interdisciplinary field, which is an organizational unit that crosses traditional boundaries between academic disciplines of schools of thought. I'm going to bust your bubble when I get done reading this stuff, and I brush upon this to let you know what I'm actually reading, so-called reading here. So anyway, area of scientific study and branch of mathematics, this is back to chaos theory, is an interdisciplinary area of scientific study and branch of mathematics. It focuses on underlying patterns and deterministic laws of dynamical systems that are highly sensitive to initial conditions. And these will once start to have completely random states of disorder and irregularities. So what they're saying is they've been finding that in what they thought was to be disorder may actually be arriving from an order, but because they don't have a deeper understanding, that's why it's about time, it's disorder. Well, that's not always the case, because if something exists, even if we look at the Jannah and the Hawa things, it exists. Doesn't mean that it's supposed to have balance and that it's good. Oh, well, good is not all that pleasant either. So for those who study etymology. All right. Anyway, chaos theory states that within the apparent randomness of chaotic complex systems, there are underlying patterns, interconnection, constant feedback loops, repetition, self-similarity, fractals, and self-organization. The reason why they believe they utilize the terms first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth realms, you know what I'm saying, or dimensions. The dimensions keep going. You've only heard talk about the third, the second, the fourth, that's because, and the sponge being damaged with all the pores being closed by an outside source, you don't really see beyond what is laid before you. You only see what they give you, you know what I mean? So you can have a bind right here, right? That's shaped like this. Now, in between here is a whole lot of fractured, chaotic stuff, right? But something is alluding to something, and it kind of looks like this. But in this window that's not known to be a window or a tear in time continuum, a strand, the different things they have, right? On this side is the very exact same thing, but it is not to be over here. It is to be mirrored. It's meant to be exactly, it's not even supposed to be dealt with. It has its own purpose, whatever it may be. Y'all watch Transformers, right? Ultron, whatever, when they want to bring it back to the Earth that was destroyed, right? Through the crystals, CERN, talk about that. What is it really doing? First of all, it's doing nothing good. Stargate's real, if you want to call it stars, yes. Star may mean something else, y'all. Star may mean interpersonnel displacement or replacement. It may mean travel. I don't know. I'm not here to discuss it. I'm not here to put things out there. It's not the energy I want to give right now. What I wanted to discuss is that our beautiful sister asked an excellent question that I'm going to respond to right here. She asked me, Chief, going to message you through Messenger. Can you talk about Nibiru, Planet X? Sure I will. Comet, the Nibiru comet. And also the eclipse that they're talking about on Monday. I think that's the 8th, right? April 8th or something like that. Is that what it is? I don't do dates. Y'all know that. I had to for the last 2 days because, you know, they were sending me to the wrong places and the wrong dates and not doing it. So, yeah, that would be the 8th. So let me first start with so-called Nibiru. Y'all know I have a ton of books on Nibiru, the Wars of the Anunnaki, blah, 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 blah. I got so many books on that stuff. Oh, my goodness. And they call it a planet. What was the name of the planet eater in the Marvel Comics? I'm going to do this right here. Oh, I guess. So, when you think about Galactus, we believe in Galactus because we look at Battlestar Galactica. So that means black space with some fake stars and ship traveling that looks like some weird thing. Other movies, right, with the name Galactus, right? So we look outside in the darkness, in the void of darkness. And we're conditioned to that, so we accept that. So when we hear something like Nibiru, Planet X, planet, remember from me reading Beyond the Ice Walls, all right, Claudia Naselli, and a couple of other books, Flatlanders, there's a ton of books. And we know writings aren't meant to always be followed, but they're puzzle pieces. But when you have everything introducing and then displacing and putting your mindset and controlling the narrative, you're going to see only what they give you. So you're going to see outer space. You're going to believe planets and comets exist because they got you believing the sun is at 93.3 million miles away and the moon is, and a whole bunch of bull crap. For those of us who are artists who actually knows the time difference, who have seen things, whether in the military, and we've looked in distances that are impossible to see, whether I've looked through something I saw 300 miles away and I'm like, you got to be kidding, because it's supposed to be, you know, or I learned how to fly a Cessna when I was in my 20s, and I'm sitting there going, something's not right. And then because of my inventive nature and the fact that I study this fictional science that wants to displace, create, and redetermine and de-evolution or reverse engineer everything. Okay, I just kind of gave it away about what I'm going to mention about what I was reading earlier. But when you're just given that, it's like you are given a tit to suck on as a baby, as a youngling, and you suck on it because it's supposed to nourish you. Well, they've given you a nasty tit, and you've been sucking worthless information that has compiled lies and is specific to keep you. Rockefeller and them, when they created the education system, they didn't want people who were intelligent to rise above the occasion. They figured they had got it all. They needed people who are going to be workers, worker drones, obedient, not be able to see beyond, except for see exactly what they say. When I first started preaching upon the fact that NASA comes from the word Nasab, you got to think about the time period. All this is after 18 what? After the fall of our world, which was the last, was called the fake Civil War that my great-great-uncles fought in. And that's why I can speak the way I do instead of some hyped-up fake black Negro and some goofy pale-skin, light-skin who don't know nothing. And they hate each other and they hate one another. No, so I speak. We're giving you keys, little bits of tea, instead of you running and holding on to all the nonsense, all right? So, yeah, Planet Nibiru, nonsense. Is there another world out there? As far as they painted it, as how they painted it? No. Is there another world or existence? Of course. There's many. You choose one and go there. Okay? You go there. You can do anything. Most of you haven't been cultivated and nurtured to be able to do that. Max B, what's going on, beloved? What's going on, beloved? So we have Galactus, right? All that makes it where they can implement and put things so that way you'll look out there. You right off the bat, because there's nothing else. So whatever they give you is what you're going to move on. So first of all, Nibiru was always about what? As far as in the Anunnaki Wars, it was a place. What if Nibiru was the moon? Or another moon? I told you the moon that you look at, the one that you see, is battle scarred. I would love to see somebody debunk that instead of sitting there attempting to get me to, because I've had people say, man, prove it. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. And the moment I give facts, they don't know what to say because they only know, like I said, like Galactus, Battlestar Galactica, having you believe in some fictional world. You know, Night Space 1999, we're going on the Galactic Confederation and the Galactic Course. When I'm reading the Hathamathas of material, right? Or I'm looking at Nokia, the Galactic Council. And when you're looking at Star Wars, the Galactic Treaty. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you seeing things right here for what they are, you're going to look out because you've been conditioned to look out. You dig what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on? Like, well, and then what's happening, beloved? So they want to hide my viewers right now because of what I'm talking about. I guess the chicken shits have bought the coop, and I love it. Hold on, guys. And because I know what I'm talking about, and they should really back down and relax. So anyway, again, let me point this out. Let me further point this out. And I appreciate everybody that's sharing this because it's an excellent question. There is no planet Nibiru. Is the moon a satellite as much as the sun, if you want to use that term? What about the fact that the moon is living? What about the fact the sun is a living organism? There is order to each one. Can you create it? Y'all could get together if you was able to bring your frequencies up and you could create a moon. No, you literally could. But because you haven't been nurtured, nor have you ever been together with it, y'all have learned how to hate. Y'all have learned how to challenge, debate, mem specialists, this, that, and other. You have never walked together with people who would sit there to arise to another case. Now, I ain't talking about being crazy, hell-bop, dressing up in purple, running around and drinking Kool-Aid, James Jones. I'm not talking about, that's without inundating you with some more foolish diatribes. I'm not talking about the hypocrisy of ignorance and those people who are doing drugs and psychedelics and no. I'm talking about, and I can't mention it on here. It's just no way to do it. I'm talking about the staple of practice makes perfect, right? That's all I'm going to say. Y'all need to learn. I'm reading puzzle pieces of things because I need y'all to be able to put things together. They probably got a computer right now listening and putting things together. And they're probably coming up with many different things. And trust in me, the way I converse and share things, they'll never be able to put it together. You really need to be able to pay attention and listen. So all this stuff is also distractions. Regardless, I always say this. If it's meant to be, then it will be. And if you're meant to be prepared, then you'll be prepared. You can't sit up here on these platforms that are ran by the very individuals who want you gone and think that you're going to converse and convey on things that matters. So whatever Nibiru is, whatever it really means, or whatever it doesn't, you do not need to allow it to be a displacement of thought. Like taking the boat out of the water or taking the water out of the ground that forms the lake or the sea or the ocean. Displacement, right? Or putting it in, causing the body of water to move. You getting in the tub and water coming over. Everybody jumping in the pool and got to pee, and it's displacement because now you're moving away from chlorinated water to add your toxic urine in it. I'm saying water displacement. When you're spreading them legs, men and the women, you're creating displacement. You're creating a safe space. You dig what I'm saying? Okay? That's pretty much getting to the drip without speaking in riddles and everything else. So, excellent friggin' question, because it is a needful one. Answer, in my opinion, is don't worry about it. So I said all that to say this because sometimes you have to entertain the minds that are conflicted and compounded with the nonsense that's out here. Any of y'all see what I just did? I'm being honest. I would never lie to you. I don't have to. Is it an excellent question? It is a phenomenal question. It really is. And that is not just to entertain, blah, blah, blah. When she asked me, I could see the truth in it because there's so much going around. We give energy to things. So what did I just do? It seemed like I was giving energy to the crap, but I displaced it because you all have the same knowledge to look at it. They can make anything appear out of anywhere. It's always been done. It's nothing new. All right? And as far as the 8th, who remembers the video I did showing you where I took my light, I took a pen, and I put the light in a way that the shadow should be over here, and the shadow was back over here, right? Remember, when I did it, it was because I wanted to see if I would grab y'all's minds, how well indoctrinated your minds were, and I saw it worked pretty well. They got you. This is the United States, right? This is Florida. This is the island of Cali. We know this is actually North Carolina, and that's Cali over here, North and South Kakalaki. You ain't got to believe me. I don't get into belief. Look it up and figure it out yourself. So here's Florida, the shoe over here, the horn, which is not the real Italy, not the fake one. All right, that's where you got all the terms as far as that's a whole nother topic. Anyway, in the island of Cali, right? Over here. So we know from west to east, right? Or is it east to west? Which direction is real? First of all, you know everything's backwards. But what they do is they got this, and then they got all of a sudden this coming from here. Well, if I got the sun and it casts a shadow, right, moving across, if I got the moon moving a certain way over here, if it casts a shadow, because you know the moon and the sun's roughly about the same size, it's going to look like it's coming in a photonic, what you call it, I forget the word, direction. You could take a piece of paper, set up candles or light, whatever, and do it for yourself. Draw your quick stick figure of what you think America looks like in South America. And then take a little highlight. When you're doing the light thing, it's not a trick. Pay attention to how the sun moves and where the moon's supposed to be at. And they're going, so stop getting hyped up because they're saying, because your energies, because those are the same goofy Negroes that's talking about the red sun and the orange sun. There ain't nothing happen to nobody. Now, does it mean nothing happens? No, man. Every moment, every day, something's happening. But y'all keep looking for these people who give you a false sense of hope. Because when nothing happens, because you have not been nurtured, you have only entertained a moment to. And I'm not saying it's bad energy. I'm saying it's great for those who can phonetically, you can create something. But the majority can't because they're so used to this. You know, and you're not damaged or injured. You know, you just want this instead of going to work. When I was living in New York and I saw that woman that had 12, 15 children and all that money she was making. But then I see what it's all about. It's the slave mentality because our people was never supposed to be no fake citizens. And our people are still niggers because Negroes who don't know no better. So as far as Monday the 8th, and it's like I said, these are excellent questions. It's how you want to look at it. People saying they're going to stare into it, this, that, and other. Please help me, assist me in the knowledge of what we're staring into. What's the benefit? Teach me about ancient history, what you've been able to pull up in all the puzzle pieces. You know, Kira Meal had a wonderful live going yesterday. I was able to go on for a few minutes, and I came back on early this morning because I hit Ganja to make sure he was all right on the road. And he was like, I know he slept, so he got some rest. So he was like, I'm in Phoenix. Oh, okay, so he's good. So he had public worship. He had public worships and what was the thing called? Public worships and some religion. Anyway, it was his last live. Check it out. It was phenomenal. I went over there. I attempted to send him $5 or $10, and it wouldn't let me on my phone. I don't know what was going on. I know upstairs for some reason my phone, the internet's been acting up, but I think that anyway, that's something I'm not worried about. So I attempted to send him $5 or $10, and I was unable because whenever I see people going live, if you go live, I'm gonna send you some money. So that's just the way I am. So some fiat because it means nothing to me. So I just use it for the purpose it's meant to be used for. I'll spend every bit of it because when it's all gone, what you're gonna do? You don't know how to survive. You don't know what you can eat. Your body has not adapted. Just a little tea. So as far as the 8. And I need to call and have a video chat with her today so I can see about. I was talking about. Here down the road, I'm talking about doing it around May, having a podcast. We talk about Jamil Shamsi's, and I'd like to have him come on, but he just needs to be quiet until the end when we can convene over these 2 books that are phenomenal. I mean, outstanding. And it's Don't Call My Dummy No Dummy, and I told you don't call my dummy no dummy. Get the book. I haven't done a review on Amazon yet because I'm just not ready to do one. I'm here with a different purpose, and I want his book to buy, and I need y'all to be purchased, and y'all need to buy it because it is really that good. To me, it's better than what Dan Calloway put out. I'm dead serious. But I know, like I said, you only grafted to the point where you're at. Most people think everybody out here is top cats and all these individuals, and I'm not drowning on them. They're not the source of information. They're just not. It's those of us who have been getting our butts kicked, damn near killed, or murdered since the 60s that keep this information going all the way through the 70s and 80s through schools and the military, getting told to be quiet and this, that, and called everything else. And you'd be surprised that individuals would call me nigga. And I say, oh, part of the Digger clan? I'm not. And I'd knock them out. I don't advocate violence, but I did. And that's why people stopped calling me that in the military. And that's the reason why after that, nobody called me that. Even on the reservation, when one guy did what I did to that individual, everybody on the reservation knew who I was. See, there's a difference. There's no Supermans out here. You know, I think about that Cuban MMA guy who went to bare knuckle fighting and fought the brother who finally beat him. He was one of those self-hating Spanish cats who's not Spanish, who forgot his roots and allowed a new narrative to paint an ugly face, just like some of our people in Brazil. Now, I got children in Brazil and everything, and Dominican Republic and elsewhere, in Puerto Rico and this, that, and other, even though I've been there, I've lived there. You have a whole lot of folks who are caught up because they've been conditioned a certain way. They've been given the bad titty. Okay? And they've drank from the bad titty. They need to drink from the good titty. I mean, a lot of you are still like that too. Okay? That's not throwing no shade to Sam. That was a great question. There is no outer space. Well, let's say there's a whole lot of something out there. Why is everybody pressed with that when you ain't dealing with what needs to be dealt with in this space right you here, you occupying? This is what the enemy got you doing, looking way out there. Supposedly this planet is supposed to collide with the Earth and this collapsing. No, man. That's to keep you putting your energy off negative so when things can start happening, you know, if y'all could meditate, if y'all could walk together, you can make the sun stand still. It's all operating on frequencies of vibrations, aren't ye gods? If that wasn't the case, then why are they so busy poisoning you? Why does Cargill own all the food, right? When they started themselves in the 1850s or 60s, after the Civil War, 66, right? Become these billionaires with 40 relatives, and each one of them is over a billionaire. You think that Cargill don't mean the Carnegie, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, and so on? How you think they're able to get the way they're at? Do you think they don't do bad things? They have control of everything because in ignorance, y'all allowed it. Many of our people have drank from the bad tete, and they sit up here and they think they know everything, and they talk about who's the racist and I'm with a white woman and all this other stuff, and I'm a black dude, I'm African. Take your African ass over to Africa and work the things out over there. I'm looking at Akon right now looking real stupid. Okay? Now, I'm not saying this with hate. I'm venerating what people have been nurtured and to be decisively divided in this world. So, baby, go start asking the most perfect question. There's some other people questions that have been asked, and it's a valid one because it can bring up fear even in a recess where there is no fear. Because you're like, what's going on? Because you see everything that's happening. Everything that's being done has been done by the enemy. And then we have a lot of our own who are our own enemies. I don't care where they're from, because you know what? When I went to India, right? I saw people dark as midnight. They were beautiful. And these people are in a caste system. They're looked frowned upon with these half-bred hybrid motherfuckers. I got my neighbors dark as, he's about 18 shades darker than me. He's from Hindustan. I tell them, you don't worry about your children when I'm out here. When I see them coming out, doors cracked, windows open, I'm listening, I'm all eyes, and they safe around here. There's a good old boy over there the same way, and about most of the people here. And when nobody come in here messing with the children, because they'd be dead. You see what I'm saying? And that just not only breaks, it enforces something. What the news this fake ass media wants to paint us as in this fake ass policing system. Okay? The majority of us are nowhere in that department that these fake liberals and these fake Jews create. All the stuff you see when people are talking about something, ignore them, because the most important thing right now is you. And what you do with you. Yeah, I went out, it was dark, I'm barefooted, standing in there, This is nothing but clothing wear. Y'all call them gung fu suits. These are nothing but clothes. Our ancestors made these. The new Chinese only picked them up and wore them and utilized them once they learned. Then they killed off the original people. So I go out there. I sitting down out there. I ain't got no socks on, getting my ground on. I ain't doing no chimes, no chants. I ain't doing it because I like to be unison. I want to once do it as the earth seeks. He wants to have the people again, ghost dancing, singing, and vocal on her. The ones who have the talents, who have the natural order in them. All right, to aspire the difference instead of sitting on this fake. I'm sitting on my merits. I'm not doing nothing. You ain't shaking nothing. I'm right here, and I'm not spending the money on that because this is what I got to spend. You broke back mountain mother. Anyway, right? The reality is you have to free yourself from that way of thinking because that's the bad titty. You know, it's like me and your brother on the test. You got my brother, but you didn't get me. I was hiding behind the left titty. Like, come on, make it make sense. Hey, baby girl Slaughter. Yeah, that was a great one. What's up, beloved? How you doing, mama? So I was just speaking on the questions you asked, because you're not the only one. Nibiru, and you know, I've expanded on this many times when you think about the Anunnaki, this, that, and other. But there's reality there. There's a story about our ancestors. I'm going to share it. It's in my story. It's in the story I have to tell. When we fell, we started we were messing with things. And this is from my great-great uncle, too, Uncle Tandy. He says, passed down oral tradition. Our people were in a different world, in the waters. In the waters came from the waters, not from some fake Africa, because Africa didn't exist. And even that name was never mentioned. Came from the waters. They would say we came from the waters. There were those who were dabbling in things. The power had become too great. And there were things that we controlled in the nethers. We literally controlled them. I don't think they liked being controlled. So therefore, if you cannot control it again, you can't become corrupt. But the problem is, it's a twofold thing. That's why I said chaos theory and I read it. There is no planet Nibiru. Not as we know it, because we know that planet means planes. ET on the end means extra territory. As far as the 8th, I did 3 days ago, the little thing with the flashlight and the pen on my chest showing you, and I spoke on it earlier, and for those who have the time to set up a map, get a pen, a marker, a candle, because you're going to be dealing with it flat, to set it up, get a light, and pay attention how things move as far as shadows. Because remember, when I had the light over here or over here, it was supposed to be over here, but the shadow was over here. Y'all know what that is called, right? When you have in perception, right? See, when we read, I always say, when we read, we must know that everything is not 100%. But hell, it's not even 50. A lot of times it may be 10% of truth in it. I spoke on this yesterday too. The thing is to be able to chime through it and through everything else you do to allow this to access more access. Doesn't mean to become cult-like, because even that word is a total fabrication. You have to be the bearers of truth, right? We have everything from, like I said, the Galactus, Battlestar Galactica, the Confederation of Galactus. It makes us keep looking outside and never looking inside, because we are not in unity. We have not walked together. It doesn't mean that we cannot put on the same shoes, but all our shoes can be in alignment. You just know the importance of alignment. That's how they put that geo thing spinning through space 100 and something thousand miles per hour with 8 to 9 planets. They're always taking one way and putting it back, Pluto, right? And they're saying everything works with all these moons flapping around them, and it's just this big, like when I showed you the frequencies, how magnificent it is. They're saying that that's order and that's the way it works because they say so, when it's all based on no order, no truth, but only speculation, theorized. Everything about space is a theory. Every picture is not a real picture of Earth. And then the people that do it will tell you they have to take a flat and then they got to remove a lot of stuff and mold it onto a circle. It's always been like that. There's no truth to any of it. But because they want people to believe so that way it can be deceptive, and you have these melanated beasts running around who don't know how to do better and be better spoken and actually have a decent character about themselves. And they would come back and tell me, they would probably tell you, well, who is he to just not? Look, I got all this proof right here. If you want to believe, right, not you, but this is to any and everybody, that there's an outer space and there's a planet, and there's a comet, Planet X, Nibiru, whatever, coming to attack. And you want to believe that cuneiform and Gilgamesh and Nimrod and everything else is specific to something outside of yourself, only the narrative painted by the enemy who's doing everything opposite. That's like them saying we got these grocery stores, go buy food, but everything's GMO, no seeds, and we're going to put a peel on there. We're going to get more stuff to give you cancers, carcinogens, make your babies jacked up. We're going to give you more jabs. We're going to make more lies, and everything's laid out before you, but you're going to accept it because you don't know no better. Could it have been said any better? Would y'all like for me to be somebody else and say it another way? Excellent questions. And they truthfully need answers. I can't give answers. I leave them alone when I know that it's a ploy of indiscriminate attacks. That's what I call all this stuff coming to everybody. I think it's the stuff that keeps people running in circles. I say the most important thing is ascension. You learning how to do things you never done. How many of you can speak in 2 tones? No, literally. How many of you can speak in 2 different tones at one time? I would love to see those individuals. See, you have the good titty and the bad titty. Most of the people have been fed the bad titty. They have drank from the poison well. Somebody wanted to question my integrity when they says, what do you mean most of our people were poisoned? I says, in order for us to fall, the first who are of good spirit and decent, and that's the reason why I was reading the Heaven Bearers, they greeted the people they knew. And those people came with bad intentions. They conspired. And they sat down and ate. And this didn't happen at one place. This happened monotonously at many, and thousands upon thousands of elders who had information to share still were removed from the equation. And it had to be done at the right time. This is what y'all miss. This is what this fake education system will never teach you. You think they teach you the truth? What does the word truth mean? What does it mean to any of you? Excellent question, my sister. No, really, really excellent question. I loved it. So, my brother Quintus McDonald, right? He's a I don't use the word pastor, but he's a mentor teaching the word, and at least to walk in a different light. Played with the Cincinnati Colts, and I forget who else, but good brother of mine from my childhood and growing up in high school and everything. He shared what I spoke on. He shared this: 11 ships are trapped behind the Key Bridge, including 4 considered critical to the nation's defense. Well, that would strike up fear, wouldn't it? What's the purpose of that when you have contractors and enemies who are being trained by the very people supposed to keep the land protected, who have lied to you all the way from the beginning? And yet you still sit there because you think everything's just going to blow away because so many things just blew over. How does everything blow over when we have been in war nonstop since the Civil War? How you have these ignorant liberals who show you who they are when Trump didn't create this war, or nor the last one. He really wanted to get people out of there, but he wanted to do it the right way. He walked into something who set up? The very person that wanted to change your ancestors' last names? The same worthless nigger who is not one of us? How accurate is the statement for all the Trump haters out there? What did you hate most? The fact that there was no wars created by him? The Middle East peace that was happening? You kept fake Israel in place, even though the rabbis started to dislike him? These fake rabbis, these Zionist monkeys? The strong American economy we had? No inflation? Gas being at $1.90? Growing 401ks that was stripped away the moment Biden got in there? Low gas prices, secure oil reserves. We had plenty and they were digging. Lower taxes and a strong dollar. That was even talk about putting gold and silver back on it. Y'all remember that? But I would like to see some of these Biden punks come over here and mention that. But Q-Dog, you're very right now. I exposed and spoke on these things that people felt some kind of way about, to which I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't have them. And I damn sure don't give a damn about your emotions when you've been drinking from a badass titty and you keep going back and suckling it. I don't care. I hope that was informative. Great questions. There were a few more, but I'm getting close to the hour mark and I don't want to go too far over that. And other questions I'll bring up maybe tomorrow. Ganja should be here in a couple of hours. I'm about to go and put on some sweats or something, get relaxed, roll us a fat blunt so we can chill. We might go out to the range later on in the afternoon. I'm still pretty tired, but appreciate you guys. I do. I shared with y'all the book that I received. I went to the post office. They said it'd be in, so it's probably something there now, but hopefully they put it in the box. So I'll just wait till Monday to go check them out. The New Age of Deception, Heaven Bearers, Janine, Part 2. I just started glancing through this book. I know I shouldn't have ended the cliffhanger so quick yesterday. So I will read today. I will. I'll make it my business to get past that cliffhanger. I don't know what this woman took. She must have took a super damn vacation or something to write this, because good gracious, I like to thumb through, just like go through certain parts and look at it, and I'm like, she must have heard me when I was talking about like be slow with your spelling, because this is what I do. For any of y'all that was in the 80s, you took that speed reading class where you learn how to just keywords stand out and you're able to formulate stuff. Well, I did that for like 2 years. So, and I was just like, oh, wait, tartary, mood, things stand out. Oh, I said, I can't wait to read this one. So yeah, I'm not going to read no cult books here. All the things on the mystics, Masonic stuff. I'm not going to read that one here. Okay. I don't want y'all feeding it energy. I will address certain things every once in a while. You see when I read, knowing exactly what it is. Like I asked y'all what device on cutting through the spiritual materialism. I asked y'all what this device was. Now I shared this years ago on Facebook. I shared it even on MySpace a long time ago. And nobody knew. Okay. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Oh, Salat, when you share your ass here, boy. Herbo, James Bond, like about Indian, Snoop. Hey, my baby girl, that's my mom. Anyway, keep saluting everybody. But Max V, Scott, Marcus Williams, and Nigga Turtle. I appreciate everybody that came in. Y'all know Ganja would be in here, but like I said, he's on the road, and it's number love and respect. Let him get in. I got some clam chowder with mushrooms and pasta. That's what I'm taking care of right now. Yeah, I like it. I make the best one anyway. So I got to put a little bit of coconut flour in there and let it simmer for about 2 hours. We'll have that. We'll enjoy that later. And can't wait. He gets here. I don't know what's going on with you, bro. You should have been here, bro. All right. And the 7 grams you watching, speak. Say hi, bro. You should be here too. You and your wife. I know T. That's 16, 17, 18-hour drive, y'all. I already expressed the open house. I know he's going to be here. The open house is going to happen here real soon. They're going to walk through. People are telling me out here, it's going red, because they've been, training martial arts to kids. When I had this open house, everything's going to go. It's damn near, if I could just go sweep and do them floors and all that, it'd be great. Then I'm heading down to Tucson. That's what we're going to say. We always say Tucson. We ain't got to give a direct, be with ganja and those who choose to come, because a lot of you are very close. But I know how it is. I acquired this home. I'm in this apartment. How people have become stagnant in the world or the game of life. Sadly, it is a game. And I'm not attempting to make you think like me or see like me. I'm asking you to see with your goddamn eyes. I'm asking you to use your fucking brain and gut to think. I'm asking you to aspire to be something and then to transcend and to ascend. It's not impossible. But y'all have no idea. You just want to listen and hear. You know how I feel about the word love. I use it many times, and I've always despised it. So may we have an eternal bond, and may it be bliss. Even that word bliss is a troubling one, but it's better than the other one because there's no such thing as good. Really, no such thing as bad. You have a choice. All right. Remember, the sisters is the power. Brothers, you're that which protects it. 2 on the 1. See y'all later.